a real man is not violent, and a real woman is not tolerant of it. Because what happens is society tells boys that it's okay to be violent, and then women just become tolerant.
Something fascinating is happening right now in the dating world, and it's causing a complete meltdown. Women are going online furious that men aren't showing up to clubs anymore, aren't buying drinks, aren't throwing money around like they used to. And honestly, I think we need to talk about why this shift is happening and what it really means. I came across this viral clip recently where a woman is literally complaining that men have become stingy, that the bottle poppers aren't popping bottles anymore, and that even when she went to this exclusive VIP section with a global superstar, the drinks weren't flowing freely like they used to. Her exact words were that there used to be a process for getting city girls. Step 1, have money. Step 2, spend some of it. But now, the men just aren't playing that game anymore. Here's what's really wild about this whole situation. This woman making these complaints, she's married. Let that sink in for a moment. A married woman is out at clubs, upset that other men aren't spending money on her. Where's her husband in all this? Why isn't she at home with him instead of seeking validation and free drinks from strangers? But this goes way deeper than just one person's behavior. What we're seeing is a fundamental shift in how modern men approach dating and relationships. For decades, there was this unwritten rule that men had to prove themselves worthy by spending money, buying drinks, taking women on expensive dates, basically putting on this whole show to earn female attention. Something changed, though. Men started asking themselves a really important question. What exactly am I getting in return for all this investment? They began looking around and noticing patterns. They saw guys spending hundreds of dollars on women who would ghost them after getting free meals and entertainment. They witnessed friends getting taken advantage of by women who saw them as walking ATMs rather than actual human beings worthy of respect. So men started making different choices. Instead of hitting the clubs every weekend, they're staying home, focusing on their goals, building their careers, saving money, working on themselves. They're reading books instead of chasing women who view them as nothing more than potential sponsors. They're hitting the gym, starting businesses, learning new skills, investing in their futures. This new generation of men has figured out something crucial. Their time and money have value, and they're not going to waste either on people who don't appreciate what they bring to the table. They've realized that just because someone looks good doesn't mean they're good for you. A beautiful woman who sees you as an opportunity rather than a partner is actually a liability, not an asset. The reaction to this shift has been telling.
There is a blessing in everything. Behind every moment of adversity in your life, there is a blessing and a lesson. Every moment of adversity has those two things. Pain always leaves a gift.
Instead of self-reflection, instead of asking why men might be pulling back, we're getting complaints about men being stingy. We're getting demands that men need to step up and start spending money again. There's this sense of entitlement, like men owe women expensive nights out just for existing. But here's the thing that's being completely missed in all these complaints. Respect is a two-way street. If you want someone to invest in you, you need to show them you're worth that investment. You need to bring something valuable to the table beyond just your physical appearance. Modern men are looking for partners, not projects. They want women who add value to their lives, who support their goals, who bring positive energy and genuine care. They're not interested in being used as free entertainment or walking credit cards. They want authentic connections based on mutual respect and shared values. The smart women have figured this out already. They've adapted to this new reality by becoming more intentional about what they offer in relationships. They're focusing on developing themselves, building their own careers, becoming genuinely interesting people rather than just expecting men to fund their lifestyles. Meanwhile, the women who are stuck in the old mindset are finding themselves increasingly frustrated. They're showing up to places expecting to be catered to, only to discover that men are no longer playing that game. The power dynamic has shifted, and they haven't adjusted their strategy accordingly. What's particularly interesting is how this connects to the broader cultural conversation about gender roles and expectations. For years, we've heard that women don't need men, that they're independent and self-sufficient. But then when men actually start treating them like independent adults who can buy their own drinks, suddenly there's outrage.
Never be jealous of what God does for somebody else. What God has for you is for you, and He's never going to deliver your mail to somebody else's house.
The men who have opted out of the traditional dating scene aren't sitting around bitter and angry. They're living their lives on their own terms. They're traveling, pursuing hobbies, building businesses, developing deep friendships, working on personal growth. They're discovering that their happiness doesn't depend on female validation or approval. This shift represents something larger than just dating dynamics. It's about self-respect and knowing your worth. It's about refusing to participate in interactions where you're not valued or appreciated. It's about making conscious choices about where to invest your time and energy. The solution isn't for men to go back to the old ways of doing things. The solution is for everyone to approach relationships with more authenticity and mutual respect. Instead of games and manipulation, we need genuine connection. Instead of entitlement, we need appreciation. Instead of taking advantage, we need reciprocity. The men staying home aren't missing out. They're making strategic choices about their lives. They're building something valuable instead of wasting resources on people who don't value them. And honestly, that's exactly what anyone with self-respect should be doing.